Well, I've been thinking about this East Coast storm that has, to my mind, kind of brought a benefit to the Abbey. And that is that some of the people who were scheduled to leave right after the Exploring Monastic Life program couldn't. So they're here for a few days longer. I don't know how they feel about it, but it just that situation. And then in my own life, which is much more local, being unable to access our website to do some work on it resulted in our webmaster having to do the work that I was going to do. And in her doing the work, she discovered all kinds of sort of mistakes that I've been making on that website that she's now fixing. So I don't know how she feels about it, but I'm happy I couldn't get on the website that she discovered all these things, right? So these kind of combinations of things have reminded me of that story that bears repeating again and again and again. It is not how I live, but it is how I aspire to live. And that is a story, it comes from the Tibetan tradition, or some people say it's from the Chinese tradition. But it involves a woman, say, living in another place, in another time, far, far away, on the banks of a river somewhere in a little tiny village with nothing really to her name except her son, whom she loved, and the family horse, whom the son loved. And so they're living contentedly in their little village. And then one day the horse, and she, she's very philosophical. She always is, her heart is very much in the Dharma. And one version of the story has her always spinning a prayer wheel, going, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. So that's her point of view, is to really take life as it comes. And so one day, the horse disappears. And all the people in the village are like, oh no, you've just lost your whole fortune. And she's just fine. She's like, well, who knows? We never know what's good or bad. We'll see. She's just sitting there doing her prayer wheel. So a few weeks later, back comes the horse with two other horses that he's picked up along the way. Probably female horses is my guess. And so all the villagers are like, whoa, your fortune just tripled. You guys are so very fortunate. And she's just, well, who knows what's good or bad? We'll see. She's very calm with the success quote also. And then a few weeks later, her son is racing one of these racy new horses, and he's going so fast he gets thrown and it shatters his leg. So of course all the little villagers are like, oh, you poor people, your only son, your only resource, he's really laid up. And she's very calm. She's of course concerned for him, but we'll see what's good or bad. And then, sure enough, a few weeks later, the local army comes through to defend the border. They conscript every young man who can move, and her son is not among them. And the neighbors say, oh, you're so lucky, your boy got to stay home. And she's, well, who knows what's good or bad? We'll see. So it's this thing about whatever comes. Well, there's a storm on the East Coast. A lot of people certainly are affected. It's not to in any way say that it's not people's lives and aren't affected in a strong way, and that there won't be suffering. But is it good or bad? Any situation, we can't actually say that. We never can, because there's always something around the corner. There's always something that, things will constantly change, we know that. And there's always an opportunity no matter what arises, whether it is perceived in that moment as something really difficult or really, really painful, or whether it's something that appears to be really fabulously beneficial. We just don't know. So this quality of keeping an even mind, one version of the word equanimity, an equanimous mind, equanimity, an equanimous mind in keeping ourselves balanced in relationship to the ups and downs of life. Because these situations come, go, things blast us from every direction, good, bad, indifferent. But it's the evenness of our mind that actually makes us able to ride these waves gently and easily. And the mind that's looking for the benefit or the opportunity, no matter what arises, is a much happier mind than the one that's looking at all the things we can blame and complain about. I know this from personal experience. Perhaps you do too. So I'm glad you guys are still here, those who are stuck for a few days longer. And I hope it works out for you to get home soon.